Welcome back to the Polytunnel. It is raining as usual this morning in our lovely little place between the Lake District and the Yorkshire Dales, and it's piddling down. And it's kind of cold as well. We'll just hang out in the Polytunnel here for a few minutes. So what plants have medicine for you at the moment? If you have any you're working with at the moment, let me know what you're working with in the comments. And also, you know, if you want to share any insights you're getting, I'm always interested to know other people's experiences. It's proper raining now. If you can hear this rain drum in the background of this video, let me know. All I can hear is cockerels and rain. Okay. So back to the video. Yeah, the plants I'm working with at the moment are ones, Hawthorn I'm always working with, but I'm working with plants that are kind of protective of the heart space, because I've been on this journey of, you know, if you know about heart math and heart coherence, and opening the heart center basically in a nutshell. And I think a lot of us are going through this at this point now. A lot of people are having spiritual awakenings or situations that, without going into it too woo, are like, you know, different, new for them, abilities increasing and awakening, things we couldn't do before. I've always had my kind of downloads, I like to call them, and they just come when they come. But I have been working on opening my heart centre as well, and releasing a lot of the barriers that I've put up throughout the years. And so I'm working with the plants really closely right now, like Hawthorn, always working with wild rose as well, obviously. I'm very excited to see if the stuff I've planted in my garden is going to flower this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. And violet as well. I think I've got a little... I didn't have any violet in my garden, and I felt really sad about it. There's some on the lane, but it gets buried in the hedgerow. So I was really asking out there to the universe to say I'd really like to start growing violet in my garden. And the other day I walked up one of the fells, they're just over there, Howgill Fells, and I kind of connected with the energy of that fell. And as I came down, I just saw this little single patch of violets. So I kind of asked, you know, can I pick one to take home to start in my own garden? And that felt good, and that felt okay. So I very carefully, without trying to disrupt anything else, took one, potted it up, and the flower has obviously died. You can see that. It's growing though. It's starting to grow back. The flower's obviously gone to seed because I disrupted it, but the plant itself is growing. So I'm hoping it's in here getting a little TLC, and then hopefully it will grow a little bit bigger, and we'll see where it gets to, and if it gets it out into the garden. I think sometimes as well you can kind of almost like, I get this like calling. I don't know if the plant was calling me or if I was calling the plant, but I had no lady's mantle in my garden, and I just really wanted to work with that plant. And I kept seeing it, you know, on walks around town. You see it in the cracks, you know, grows out the cracks and the paths and things. And I was like, I'm going to have to buy some seeds or something, you know, to try and grow it in my garden, because it's just not here. And I think next door must have some. And I ended up finding like a tiny, it must have dropped a seed or something. A bird must have dropped a seed, I don't know. And a little bit started growing in the gravel and the cracks just outside the front of the house, just right in the middle of the way we walk. So I let it kind of get to a certain size, and I've potted it up, and there were two of them in the end. And yeah, they've got big. I'll have to film it, but not now because it's absolutely peeing it down. But they've these little tiny seedlings that just appeared in the gravel have now got big enough to plant out into the garden, and they're starting to grow in the garden as a proper plant. So yeah, whether Lady's Mantle called to me or I called to it, or it was a bit of both, I'm not really sure. But we have hooked up and got together, and she is in my garden now. I'd say also it's the time of year where my mint's growing. I work with mint a lot, mainly because I love it in tea with ginger. I think I've got about 10 different types of mint in my garden. So there's quite a lot to work with. It's a really easy plant to work with as long as you don't plant it directly in the garden and let it take over the entire place. So I have it all in pots, but there's just such a lovely smell and lovely taste. It's a really sensory herb to work with, and I really enjoy working with that one. So yeah, I'm going to call it now because it's like a rain tent in here. It's lovely. I could spend all day in here. But let me know if you're working with any plants in the comments. I would love to hear what you're working with at the moment. Otherwise, I'll see you soon for the next video.